Hi, everyone. Welcome to This One's Dedicated To. My name is Jennifer Ziegler.
And I'm Chris Barton. We both write books for young people, and we love talking with other authors of books for young people about the dedications in their books.
And today we're so thrilled to be joined by middle grade author, teacher, and overall superb human, Torrey Maldonado.
Thank you.
Bienvenidos.
Hey, Torrey.
Hey, thank you. I love that you're doing this virtually because I feel like I can get the heat of your locality through the screen. I'm rubbing it all over me.
And taste the salsa.
Yes, taste that salsa.
Well, today we're going to talk with you about the dedication you wrote for your most recent novel, What Lane. Would you start by reading it out loud, reading the dedication out loud so we can hear that in your own voice?
Yes, will do. For Ava, the world is yours.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about Ava and why this is your third book, correct?
Yes.
Why a little bit about Ava and why this book is for her.
Excellent. Nas, a New York City born and bred rapper, has this song called "The World Is Yours," and in it he says, the chorus goes, "Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours." A lot of people don't realize that there's another part to that chorus where there's a voice that says, "It's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? The world is yours." It's almost as if the baton is being passed on to someone else. It's my world. It's also your world. And what are you going to do with it? And this is one of the reasons why the book is called What Lane. Usually people say, stay in your lane. What lane? Well, now, I'm passing on so much to my daughter, Ava, and it's her lane. See where she steers. Another reason why I named the book, the dedication by Nas, "The World Is Yours," is because I want Ava to be inspired by the storytellers who inspired me. The traditional canon didn't inspire me. A couple years in teaching, I realized something, and I turned it into a banner. And people around the country, they took the banner and they made it banners. They've done other things with it. And I said, if books don't love kids, kids won't love books. Mm-hmm. And what hooked me to books were comic books and lyricists. Like, when you talk about this one is dedicated to, in my head, I immediately hear Biggie when he goes, "This goes out to my Brooklyn crew. Put your hands up in the air if you feel me," right? It's like, that's the dedication. This one is dedicated to. And I often am inspired by lyricists like Nas. So the dedication, "The world is yours." Not only is it passing the baton to Ava and hoping Ava soars as my blackbird, but also I hope that she's inspired by the storytellers and the cultures that inspired my stories.
So the phrase, "the world is yours," that also appears a couple of times in the book itself. Were you already thinking about that for the dedication when you included it in the book, or did you think about the dedication because you'd included that phrase in the book?
Well, I just have to say thank you, Chris, because sometimes I do podcasts and people clearly didn't read my book, and you're like, "Yo, actually, that dedication comes up a few times in the book." So Brooklyn fist bump, boom, to you. Thank you for reading the book and catching that. The book, it comes up a few times in the book because you're parents. I'm a parent. And when I was growing up, my mom, she wanted to give me the world. And, oftentimes she wasn't able to give me enough. And as a parent, we want to give our kids the world. I want to give Ava the world. Not only is she getting a world from me that I couldn't have, but it feels like she knows the value of the world that she's receiving from me.
At what point did you know that you were going to dedicate the book to Ava?
Oh, I'm one of those overdo it dads. Like, I want to do everything for Ava, right? I want to dedicate everything to Ava. Like, I got $1 in my pocket and I'm like, "Here, take the $1." And people are like, "That's your last $1." I'm just like, "That's my daughter." So So, my first book, I almost dedicated it to Ava, but I had to dedicate it to my mom because my mom was really the seed that turned me into who, made me blossom to who I am today. So it was to my mom. The second book, I was going to dedicate it to Ava, and I was just like, yeah, I got to dedicate it to, the whole family, right? My wife, my daughter, and me. The third book, What Lane, I dedicated it to Ava. And I just kind of knew it had to be about a dedication for her. And the reason why is, in so many ways, the main character is Ava. The main character is me. And when I was growing up in the 6th grade, I was blindsided by racism, and I couldn't make sense of it, right? I didn't know how to navigate. And there were a lot of adults in my life who had different reactions to me experiencing racism. Some were like, oh, just ignore it. It'll go away. Some people were telling me, oh, you need to read this book. And some of the books that they read to me, I was like, are you kidding me? That is too adult for some adults. I can't read that book. I can't read this. I don't have the vocabulary to read this. And also there's some adult concepts I can't digest. So when I was younger, I wanted I wish I had the tool to navigate this complex world, but also navigate the complexities of racism. And it took me from middle school all the way to how old I am now to figure out how to say it. And now that book, What Lane, it's a roadmap that I've passed on to my daughter to help her navigate in our world. I knew all along this book had to be for her because in many ways the book was about her.
Well, how did Ava find out that this book was dedicated to her, or did she just assume?
She found out because when the ARCs come, you get the advanced reader's copy. I open it up and I called her over. I said, Ava, come over here. I want you to see something. She came over. She's like, what? And she's like, oh, she was just excited that I had a book. She was like, oh my God, you wrote this? She was super excited, overflowing with enthusiasm and pride for me. And then I opened up to the page and said, look, she saw her name and she said, what? It's for me? And she was like, I do my hair toss, check my nails. Girl, how you doing? Feeling good? She was feeling good. So, but since then I've dedicated other things to her too. Like, I have a letter in the talk, and the talk was curated by Cheryl Willis Hudson and also Wade Hudson. It's so crazy because so they invited me to write for this book. And then when I wrote the story, the editors come to me and say, you wrote it. You wrote a letter to your daughter. And it reads like a comic book. We want to know if you're okay with an illustrator, a comic book illustrator, illustrating your story. And I was like, you don't have to ask me, definitely. But when they told me who, I grew up reading Marvel. Natasha Bustos, the illustrator of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. She illustrates my story to Ava, Friends. And here you see me talking to Ava.
Oh my God.
And the opening lines are, Dear Ava, as my daughter, you further our family's journey. Our past will help you rise because it helped me rise. I can't hear your rain.
Oh, okay.
If you hear your rain, I don't hear any rain.
Okay. Well, good. All right. All right.
So
You ready?
let me turn up the volume so you can hear.
Pump up the volume.
Less like
Dun, dun, dun. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I gotta hold the dog. I'm the one scared.
All right.
We
Maybe
can get the dog up in there too. Remember Snoop Dogg? Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay bow wow yippee yo. Let's get the dog up in there. Come on.
we're gonna dance out when we close. We'll dance out.
Got the dance stroke.
We'll vote. Okay.